this series. Pitching hasn't really been the problem. It's the problem that has been one all year long. That's scoring runs.
2 runs or less this year, 45% of their games, Dave. That's something that these guys are going to have to get turned around. They don't want to get swept today, but when you look towards the second half, that is something that they definitely need to improve on.
They saw one of the best in baseball last night in Zach Greinke. Now, tonight they're going to be looking at Kyle Davies. He's not one of the best in baseball, but against the Mariners, he's one of the best.
He's pitched well, and he actually has pretty good stuff. You look at the high ERA for him, opponent's average against, they're all high numbers, but for some reason he pitches well against Seattle earlier this year. 6 innings pitched, did not give up an earned run. In fact, he only gave up 1 hit for the outing that he had in that one. So hopefully the Mariners can get to him tonight. He pitched well in his last outing against the Angels, but you never know with him. He can get wild at times.
Of course, Doug Fister is his opponent, and he is coming off a couple of rehab starts and a couple of other starts. He has not been the Fister we saw that left with that tired shoulder, I guess you might call it, and looking to turn things around here.
He is, and the big key with Doug, of course, he has to get the ball down. His outing that he had last time out, the ball was up in the zone. He was giving up some hits, actually having to work out of some pretty tough counts at times, and that's something that he didn't do before he went on the DL. He was constantly pitching hit and pitching deep in games. Last time out, only 4 2/3.
The Mariners can't look forward to the Yankees tomorrow night. They have to worry about tonight. Pick up the final game of this 3-game series against Kansas City. Good to have you with us. It is summertime here in the Northwest. We'll be back and have more right after this.
Entertainment capital of the Northwest. The tracer system uses 3 cameras to track every pitch. Graphical enhancements have been added to the EQC tracer this season to give you more information and insight into the game.
Well, on a day like this, if you want a golden tan, go to Golden Gardens. A lot of people did. What a day to lay out and bask in the sun. If you just want to play volleyball, beach volleyball, go over to where the Denny Party landed 159 years ago to establish Seattle in 1851, Alki Beach. It's that type of a day. We are at Safeco Field for the final game of the three-game series between the Mariners and the Kansas City Royals. And let's look at the Royals lineup.
Thank you, Dave. And for the Royals, not many changes in the lineup today. Podsednik will lead things off, then it's Kendall DeJesus. Butler, the hot hitter for them, 324 average. Callejo Betterman with a big home run. Drove in all 3 runs for the Royals last night. Meyer, Bettencourt, and Getz gets the start at second base. He will hit 9th. Look at the numbers for Doug Fister. ERA has jumped up on him in his last couple of outings since he's come back from the DL. He's struggled a little bit, so hopefully tonight he'll get things back on track. And the defense behind him, Saunders, Gutierrez, and Ichiro in the outfield. Across the infield will be Lopez, Josh Wilson starting at shortstop, Pickens and Casey Kochman on the right side of the infield. And behind the plate tonight will be Rob Johnson.
Doug Fister trying to get back in the groove. He was in quite a groove, and 7 of his 12 starts have been 7 or more innings pitched while allowing 3 or fewer earned runs. So he's looking to find that route one more time. As Scott Podsednik will step in, the Kansas City Royals are on their way to Chicago. They have an off day tomorrow. And the Mariners, of course, are welcoming in the Yankees. Strike one, we are underway. Ryan Gorman is the man calling balls and strikes tonight. And that's foul back. 87 degrees at game time. A slight breeze, very slight breeze out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. It's kind of gloves on the ground, fouled on the right field line. Right where that young man reached over and had fan interference last. I felt sorry for the kid. I'm not so sure he knew what he was doing.
That's my understanding. He didn't speak English. He clearly, when you saw his reaction, he didn't know what was going on out there.
Yeah.
Probably had no idea why he was escorted out of the ballpark.
Routine ground ball. And Figgy will throw out at 7. So 1 down, and Jason Kendall will be the hitter. We hear that it's a pretty good chance he was from Brazil. Know more about soccer than he would baseball.
Right.
Speaking of soccer, it's going to be Spain against the Netherlands for the World Cup, as Spain knocked off Germany today 1-0. One ball, 1 strike. I will give our beloved producer, Mr. Curtis Wilson, a lot of credit for. Oh, about 10 days or so ago, I asked him when, they're just beginning elimination run, who's going to win this thing? He said Spain. He's got 1 more game to go. That's pretty amazing with all the clubs. It's like he's wearing a Spanish soccer jersey and everything.
That's
I think he's King Carlos for crying out loud.
Told me Germany was going to win it.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
He's got us covered, huh? Foul at the plate. 3-2. A little high for a walk, and that's a second man up that gets the walk. The amazing statistic about Fister is that he has not walked a leadoff man in an inning this year.
Well, that right there, just the 15th walk of the season for him.
David DeJesus having a heck of a year. That's at the knees. Too high. The ball and the strike. Pfister hasn't given up that many home runs. He's given up a half a dozen home runs. Kendall hardly any lead at all, but is driven back there. Tomorrow Jason Vargas and Andy Pettit, an all-star again for the Yankees and a 10-game winner. Two and one to count. Got to get the ball down.
This is what we've seen out of Pfister's last couple of outings. See those pitches up out of the zone. That's not what we were seeing out of him before he went on the DL. He was so good about keeping the ball down in the zone.
And that's very high. Ball 3, 3-1.
You can see the difference in his numbers since he's come off the DL. Average is high ERA for him. He was so good. Or his shoulder was tired and he had to go on the DL. And since then, this has been exactly what we've seen out of him, Dave. He's had a tough time getting the ball down.
Matter of fact, led the American League in earned run average.
Yeah, and some guys can get away with it. Felix can throw the ball up in the zone and get away with it at times. Cliff Lee can certainly do that. We've watched him do it. But Doug, his fastball is anywhere from 86 to 88 miles an hour. At times he can top out at 91, but he has to pitch down.
And that pitch is a rocket hit into right field. So Ichiro will pick it up and get it back in, but Jason Kendall scoots on into third base.
Take a look at this last pitch day. Zeus, he's been a hot hitter over his last 32 games, hitting .395. Hits this ball hard right by Casey.
It's so hard that the usually sure-handed Kotsman couldn't get the leather down in time.
He was playing up close too, holding the runner on.
Casey Kotsman, 246 games now without making an error. A breaking ball to Billy Butler, and he is really cattywampus with his command here in the first. Billy Butler's got a great short stroke, got some power, has 102 hits this year. And that misses inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, I don't think he's legging too many of them out. He's not getting cheap hits. He's hitting .324 overall.
Way outside, and Pfister really struggling. Ten balls, 9 strikes. And there is a strike in the count 3-1. That's Alberto Callaspo on deck. The switch hitter, third baseman. And a fly ball to right field down the right field line, and Ichiro on the run will make the catch, and a run will come in to score. Fine running catch by Ichiro as Kendall comes in to score to make it 1-0 Kansas City as Butler picks up his 45th RBI.
Take a look at the swing by Butler. Pitch away, runs back to the middle of the plate. Inside out swing, ball slicing away from Ichiro. And he gets over there in pretty good shape, but a run will score.
And here comes Mr. Callaspo. Callaspo has taken Pfister deep. And that's at the knees. Spinning his wheels a little bit. The Mariners losing the first 2 games of this series at their low water mark of the year, 15 games under 500. And a breaking ball that time. And a fly ball popped up. And me for a second, Figgins didn't see it. Then he did. And makes the catch out there in shallow right field. So a bit of a struggle, but only 1 run for Kansas City here in the first. Mariners come.
It's Figgins. Russell Brannion's been a hot hitter for the Mariners. He hits third. Lopez, Gutierrez, Kochman, Saunders, Johnson, and Josh Wilson will hit ninth.
And here's Ichiro to lead it off, and he sends a fly ball to deep center field, and drifting back onto the warning track is Mitch Meyer to make the catch. Good ride.
Ichiro jumping on a first pitch fastball, ball running away from him, so he can't pull it. Ends up hitting it out straight away to center field.
Kyle Davies, 3-1 in 5 career starts against the Mariners. In Kansas City, he was unbelievable in April against Seattle, allowing only 1 hit in 6 innings of work. But he'll get wild on occasion.
41 walks in 89 innings pitched.
One and two. That breaking ball's away. Royals 3 games over 500 since Ned Yost took over. That fastball is laced into left center field and tumbling down and making an outstanding catch out there is Meyer. So he has his second put out in as many hitters.
Thought that had a chance to get down. The ball was sinking on Meyer. Makes a nice running catch.
And here comes Russell. Branyan has hit in every game for the Mariners with the exception of one, and that was when he was a pinch hitter. And he was involved in that double where the fan interfered down the right field line in the 8th inning of last night's ball game, of course. 2-0 the count.
Take a look at the numbers for Russell in the games that he has started for the Mariners. Hitting over 300. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs.
And that ball is pulled down the right field line toward the corner, but foul. Foul by 10 feet or so. Foul at the plate. I think the danger for clubs that aren't in contention this weekend, you really have to concentrate because everybody's looking forward to the All-Star.
It's tough. Yeah. You're right, David. It's tough. It's hard not to look forward to it.
Branyan fouls it at the plate.
Mariners will have the Yankees in town, so typically it'll get you fired up to play some baseball.
And you tend to forget that these guys have played, for the most part, well over 100 games already when you look at a 30-game exhibition schedule.
Yeah.
Davies, a changeup that time, swung on and missed. He really pulled the string on him, went down to 82 miles an hour. And here in the first, the Mariners down in order. And after one. All right, and as we go to the second inning, Wilson Benameat, who had all 3 RBIs in last night's 3-2 Kansas City win, takes a delivery down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count on the switch hitter. And that is a strike at the knees.
Hitting right-handed last night, he had a ball out to right center. Were you surprised to see that ball go out?
I was
too.
So.
I didn't know he had that type of pop. 44 at bats for him. He has 4 home runs, 10 RBIs.
Breaking ball down low, 2-1. And a change outside. So, you know, it's not the same Pfister because his forte is throwing strikes.
Throwing strikes, working ahead. Here he is behind another hitter with a 3-1 count.
Lost him. So there is the first leadoff man in an inning that he has walked all year long.
A lot of kids at the ballpark tonight. Another birthday. All right.
Yeah. 3,000 miles. Rally for us.
It's a long way for that little one to go.
Must be from the East Coast. Yeah. Ball and no strikes account. The Yankees coming to town. A-Rod with a couple of home runs last night. 597. One of them was a grand slam home run. He now has 21 grand salamis, only 2 behind Lou Gehrig's all-time record, and only 3 home runs away from the 600 home run club as a routine fly ball finds a leather of Ichiro out there in right field. See the Yankees with a 1.5 game lead over Tampa Bay, and after the break, Tampa Bay will open up a very big series in New York. Boston 4 back and sliding a little bit.
I've actually been surprised that Boston has been able to stay in there with all the injuries that they've had.
So banged up.
Yeah. A lot of guys on the DL. Important players for him on the DL.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Well, you've got a great summer to look forward to as far as competition is concerned, because not only the Yankees going to be here over the weekend, 4-game series, Red Sox are going to be here twice. Red Sox come in after the Mariners are in Anaheim. Who travels better, the Red Sox or the Yankees? They're fans I'm talking about.
Ooh. Seems like at this ballpark we get a lot more Red Sox fans, I would think. What do you think?
I think so. And a swing and a miss. So Uni is down on strikes. I think there's a reason for that, because Fenway's sold out all year long. If you don't have a ticket,
we want to watch your team, you hit the road.
Yeah, right. That's right. Here's Chris Getz, the second baseman. I'm beginning to find a bit of his lost control. Doug Pfister from Merced, California. One. The change had some good movement on it.
Still up, though. He's going to have to get the pitches down. He was able to get away with that one.
Benamide over at first base has not attempted a stolen base this year, and that's now off the third base side.
And Doug is now at 40 pitches here in the second inning.
You don't average 20 pitches an inning and say hang around.
No.
Very long. Here's a one-hopper foul by Rusty Kuntz, former Mariner coach under Jim Lefevre. There he is. And Bill Plummer. And that's into the gap in left center field. And that baby is going to be cut off and down to third base, and they will hold him at third base. Goes Wilson Benamide on the double by Chris Getz. Good play by Gutierrez to get on that and keep it from going to the wall with a run scores.
It's a great play by Franklin Gutierrez. I thought the ball was by him. He makes a backhanded stab at it. Take a look at the swing by Getz. A slicing line drive out into left center field. Franklin Gutierrez gets over it. It looked like it was going to get by him, and he was able to stop it. Run scores easy if he's not able to make that play.
But Sednick is the hitter, and he takes a strike at the knees. Curve in the dirt. And a strike. Another changeup.
Rod Setnick didn't think so. Nice job with runners in scoring position, hitting .325 this year.
And up again. So dangerous pitches.
See the fastballs that he's throwing. Thigh high right around the belt.
And the third base on a hop. And Jose Lopez throws him out. So playing with a little bit of fire here, Doug Fister in the second inning, but he doesn't get burnt. He leads 2. As leads it off here for the Mariners in the second. Kyle Davies misses high. Ball one. One ball on no strikes. One. So Betancourt throws out his buddy Jose Lopez as we check in with Angie back at the studio. Angie. Franklin Gutierrez, the hitter. How about that ball game in Colorado last night? Fastball in the inside corner. Going to the bottom half of the ninth, they're down 9-1. And they win the ball game.
They did?
Yeah.
I saw that Ryan Franklin had a tough one. He took it on the chin.
Yeah. Yeah, he spun him around pretty good. Greatest comeback in Rocky history. 3-0 the count on Franklin Gutierrez. Set a shot of Casey Kutchman on deck. Milton Bradley still has a sore knee, but he is available for pinch hitting duties. And that's going to slice foul.
Franklin has had a lot of success against Davies, hitting .571.
8 for 14. Decent sampling, too. Full count still. And a slider, and to protect the plate. I'm not sure that was a strike, but too close to take.
I would agree. I'd rather see the hitters expand the strike zone a little bit with 2 strikes than take pitches and get called out. A lot of fastballs.
And the 8th pitch now. Gutierrez. Fastball. Fouled away. Kansas City will be back later in the year. Oh, what a change. Bottom fell out of it. That's the second strikeout now. Kyle Davies. Throw a change like that. 3-2. Tough. When the Mariners and the Yankees square off this Saturday, all you fans are asked to bring new or gently used baseball and softball gear to the Baseball Tomorrow Fund Equipment Drive here at Safeco Field. All the donations are going to benefit the boys and the girls clubs of King County. For tickets to the Mariners-Yankees game, as that ball is hit to deep right center field, and that baby is going to fly away. So Casey Kutchman, number 5, and we are even. First pitch to him.
Casey paying attention, watching Davies throw a lot of first pitch fastballs, and he jumps all over this fastball right in the middle of the plate. Belt high. Hits it over the 385 mark in right center field.
It ended up right in the middle of the plate. They're saying 403 feet on that blast by Casey. And Michael Saunders is the hitter. Chased the bad ball in the dirt that time. On to the count. One and two. 10th home run given up by Davies. Gausman's home run. And in the dirt, that's the same pitch that was too tantalizing, and he didn't lay off of it, so showing a little bit of plate discipline on the same pitch.
A lot of the pitchers pitch to Saunders that way. Fastballs inside and then bury either a changeup or a breaking ball trying to get him to chase it.
And that's high, a changeup. So Michael on down to first base with the first base on balls given up. And he can really get into a walking mode.
We mentioned it in the first inning. 41 walks for him in 89 innings pitched.
Rob Johnson 1 for 3 against Davies. Too high. Now Davies, Georgian through and through. He'll be 27 in September. A ball and a strike on the changeup. His real first name is Hiram Kyle Davies.
I don't think I've ever heard that name.
Hiram?
You?
Yeah. Biblical name. Over to first base, and Saunders is back. And there he goes. The pitch is outside, thrown through. And it's not in time. Kendall, a quick release. Not a heck of a lot of velocity on the throw, but on the money. And Michael Saunders has his second steal.
Take a look at this throw from Kendall. Probably get him if the throw's down around the bag, though, because it was high above the belt. Yeah, it's not able to get the tag down in time. Kendall did get rid of it in a hurry, though.
2-1 on Rob. And a great stop by Callejo, who throws him out. Outstanding play by Alberto Callejo, and the Mariners settle for the long ball from Casey Coxman to even the ball game after 2, a 1-1 tie. Look at those beautiful, beautiful children out here on a summer's evening having such a great time. Hot dogs, Cracker Jack. And one little girl is like my granddaughter, Lexi. She's missing 3 front teeth. About 6 or 7 years of age. You're just darling. The breaking ball is a strike across the letters as we go into the 3rd inning to Jason Kendall. 0-1.
Hot dogs are pretty big for a little guy. Think you won't be able to take care of that?
Harry Carey used to say, nothing like fun at the old ballpark.
That's
Boy,
right.
He knew what he was talking about. And a towering high pop-up this time, where Ichiro will make the easy catch. And 1 down. Time for our AT&T trivia question. CC Sabathia was traded on this date in 08, I guess, from Cleveland to Milwaukee. What statistical oddity did he accomplish that season? Was it 10 wins in each league, led both leagues in shutouts, an ERA of under 3 in each league, or 5 complete games in each league? You can text your answers to 95323.
I'm going to go with D. 5 complete games in each league.
Okay. Here's De Jesus with a count 0-1 on him already. And it's at the knees. 1-2. I'm going to go with B. Led both leagues in shutouts. And that's hard to do when you're traded halfway during the season. Shutouts are such a rarity.
I don't know with the complete games. I can't remember what he did with Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I know when he was with Milwaukee, it seemed like he went 9 innings every game out.
Of course, he got Milwaukee into the playoffs, and you know, same situation as facing Cliff Lee at a ball club like Milwaukee. You know, in it, they have him for what, half the season, and then if he becomes a free agent, which CC did, how you gonna outbid the Yankees?
Well, you're not.
You're not. And that's fouled back into the stands. We'll see the big guy on Sunday against Ryan Roland Smith. And that's lined into right field for a base hit. So De Jesus has himself his second base hit of the ball game already. And Billy Butler will be the hitter. Too high. And the pitch count 57 for Fisker. Billy Butler backed off the plate with that delivery.
Rob Johnson wearing a path out to the mound, having to go out and talk to Doug and find a way to get him back online. So difficult. You miss a bunch of time when you're on such a good run like he was. And I think for Doug, and he knows this too, with the stuff that he goes out there with, he has to be finer than most pitchers, and he was doing such a good job of that. But right now, he's just having a tough time.
That was a gift. That was a high strike.
You're right, Dave. According to the tracer, up out of the zone.
And a towering fly ball to right field. Ichiro. Easy play out there. So 2 away, and here comes Callaspo. Don't forget that the stars align for the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. The best in the AL takes on the best in the National League. Don't miss the action Tuesday, July the 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. This one counts. Here's Callaspo. Ball 1. Think the American League will continue their dominance in the All-Star Classic?
I don't see why not. I think it's the better league.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I'm an American League guy.
Right.
And that's the other way into the seats. And the runner goes, and the pitch is fouled down the left field line, and Lope is going to run out of room down there. Callaspo will fool you. He's got a little pop in his bat.
7 home runs on the year for him. Saved Davies a run with that diving grab off of Rob Johnson's bat. Pretty good shot right there.
Callaspo, a shot right back up the middle for a base hit. And after the wide turn at second, holding on, David DeJesus. So Pfister continues to pitch under pressure every inning. Give up a run in the first, left 2 aboard in the second, has 2 more aboard here in the third.
Bedamy drove in all 3 runs for the Royals. He'll come to the plate and hit left-handed. Doug now with 65 pitches in the game.
Down low. And a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Vargas tomorrow night. I think they wanted to skip Vargas, but they couldn't when Bedard couldn't make his start last night. And a swing and a high pop-up. Hit into center field. And an easy play out there for Gutierrez. So again, he dodges a bullet here in the third by leaving 2 more aboard. Royals have left 5 men in 3 innings. We go to the bottom of the third, even 1-1. On their only hit, a Casey Kotzman long ball into the seats out in right center field, as Josh Wilson is leading it off and taking the first pitch, a little low ball one. Two and 0. Kyle Davies bounces one up there. And he pops him up. De Jesus, no problem there. Okay. See what you said about our trivia question. What statistical oddity did KCA Sabathia accomplish a couple of years ago? You said 5 complete games in each league. I said shutouts. And what did you say, Mike?
I said the 5 complete games. I agreed with the fans.
Okay. Well, even a blind pig finds an acorn once in a while. I was right. Shutouts. He also had a home run in each league with the Brewers. 2 shutouts in the American League. 3 shutouts in the National League.
Does it say how many complete games he ended up with? Was that even in the ballpark?
7. 7 with Milwaukee.
7 with Milwaukee.
3 with the Indians.
Okay. So we had 10. All right.
Breaking ball to Ichiro's high. Full count. Again, Ichiro hits his club better than any other club in the league. Career batting average over 370. Slowly hit. That's going to be a base hit, I bet you. Yeah. Chris Getz can't pick it up. And Ichiro has his 24th infield hit.
We'll take a look at it. Once it gets by the pitcher's glove, Davies can't get to it. It's going to be a tough play. I think even if Getz barehands the ball, is able to pick it up cleanly, I'm not sure he would have had a play. You can see how deep he was playing at second base. Ball rolls by him for another base hit for Ichiro. Now, speaking of KCA Sabathia, Curtis just told me something that has to be pretty unique. You know what else he did in both leagues? Hit a home run.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Interleague play with the Indians and then hit one for Milwaukee.
Speaking of good hitting pitchers, I guess Carlos Zambrano's about ready to come back with the Cubs after his tirade. You don't keep a guy under lock and key making that kind of money very long.
No.
Too high.
Michael Saunders stole a base last inning in the second. Let's see Ichiro take off, get down in scoring position.
The Mariners are successful in 80% of their attempts to steal bases. And that's too high. Ball 3-0. They have 77 stolen bases now in 96 tries.
80% is a good number. It's a good number for anybody, for a team. Done a nice job. Russell Brandon waiting on deck.
Three and 1 on Piggy. You can see he's getting that high strike. Davies getting the ball just out of the strike zone up. And he lost him that time on one in the dirt. Second walk. 2 on now with only 1 down, and here comes the muscle, Russell Branyan.
A lot of times, Dave, you can get the feel of a game early. And right now, both pitchers, both starters, struggling with their command. Davies is all over the place. He's thrown 51 pitches, 27 strikes, 24 balls.
And that's low and inside. He is struggling. And a change that just kind of floats over the inside corner. He's leading the Yankees 1-0 in the 4th inning. Coliseum. Didn't want to do it. Foul. Rolled it foul on the third base side.
Davies has been throwing fastballs inside to Russell. With the way he's struggling with his command, I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 leak out over the plate and give Russell a chance to do some damage. Last pitch right on the inside corner to him.
And that ball is hit to shallow right field. Going to drop for a base hit. Ichiro to third base. They're going to hold him there. He had a notion to come around, but wisely, Lee Tinsley holds him up down there at third base. Branyan bloops one into right field.
We take a look at it. Ball out of the reach of Getz. Ichiro staying close, not sure what to do. Biggins took off right away. Here comes Ichiro, and by the time he gets around third, they have to hold him up. De Jesus, at that point, already had the ball in his hand.
Bob McClure, a crafty left-hander in his day, who pitched with the Milwaukee Brewers, and the pitching coach of the Kansas City Royals. As again, Davies continues to throw a lot of pitches, as does Pfister.
Unless he is able to get a quick double play ball here, both of them will be over 60 pitches after 3 innings. He's at 55 right now.
And a broken bat comebacker. 1, 2, and 3, the double play. Just like that, the fire is doused. A 1, 2, 3 double play, and you're in the third. No dice.
All right, Angie, thank you very much, and welcome back to Safeco Field, everybody. We've got a 1-1 tie, top half of the fourth inning. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers and Doug Pfister looking for a quick inning, Mike.
And he needs one. He's thrown a lot of pitches so far in the ballgame. This next pitch will be number 70 for him. But Davies has struggled too.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, he was in real trouble in that last inning. Ends up getting a double play ball to get out of the bases loaded situation. But both pitchers really struggling here through the first 3 innings.
1-2 the count on center fielder Mitch Meyer leading things off. Bouncy ball along the right side of the infield. Up with it is Sean Figgins. Easy toss over to Casey Kochman for the out. So 1 away for Kansas City. So Doug has thrown quite a few pitches early in the ballgame. Yeah, the Mariners had a golden opportunity but could not cash in. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Lopez hit into that 1-2-3 double play. Here is shortstop Yuniesky Betancourt. Uni struck out in the second. A slider on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Inside at the belt for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners hoping to come away with at least 1 win in the 3-game series. Kansas City winning a couple of nights ago 6-4 and winning last night 3-2. Fly ball down the left field line, and this one is foul. Deep but foul right at the foul pole. And the count is 1-2 on Betancourt, who has 5 home runs on the year. When's the last time you've seen a Julio Mateo jersey? It's going back a few years. Former Mariner reliever. 1 out, nobody on. Top half of the fourth. Betancourt, former Mariner, with the Mariners from 05 to 09. Mike, what a night here in Seattle.
It's a warm one, isn't it?
Line drive, caught at third by Jose Lopez. Jose up in the air to make the catch, so 2 down for Kansas City here in the top of the fourth. You made that a few thousand times, didn't you, Mike?
Hardest part is the time your jump right. It's hard when you're over at third, you're close, and you hear the crack of the bat. You see the ball coming at you, but it's hard to tell how hard it's hit. Sometimes you see a lot of guys that'll jump early. So it's a nice play by Lopez.
Chris gets the hitter. Ball 1 to count, and the next offer is in there for a strike. 1-1. Did a heck of a job over there, Mike, for many, many years. Tough spot. Pop up, shallow down the left field side, and Lopez can't get to it. Bounces up into the crowd, and the count is 1-2. Jose's done a nice job making that transition, Mike, from second base to third base.
Really has. I think he's done a really nice job defensively for the Mariners this year. I haven't seen a play consistently that he can't make.
Right.
He makes them all. Whether it's the bunt plays or backhand, make all the plays.
And remember, he had some mighty big shoes to fill. Breaking ball low and inside, ball 2, 2-2, Adrian Beltre. Pfister looking for a 1-2-3 inning on a hot, nice stop at first. Casey Kochman, little toss to Pfister at the bag, and it's in time to get Getz. And it is a 1-2-3, top of the fourth for Kansas City. After 3.5, Mariners 1, Kansas City 1. Always a great group of fans out there. The left center field landing mic on a beautiful Wednesday night here in Seattle.
We have a nice crowd out there tonight. Looking out there, it looks like standing room only.
Yeah. Franklin Gutierrez leads things off, and he takes a strike from Kyle Davies, 0-1. Franklin 0 for 1, struck out in the second. Breaking ball swung on and missed. That came in at 78, so Davies really pulling the string. Remember on those summer weekend days in Chicago, my dad take my brother and myself out to Comiskey Park at a day like this, you know, sit out in the sunshine of the bleachers in right field.
Have a chocolate malt?
Exactly. One of those with the wooden stick. Swing and a miss by Gutierrez for strike 3. 1 out for the Mariners, bottom of the fourth, 1-1 tie. All right, time to pass out some
all the way from Juneau.
Wow.
Usually will do pretty well if you have a cutout. Put your face in there. You're a kid. So instead of chocolate malts, we're going to give away some fries. Hi, Kaylee. How you doing? Nice job on the sign.
Good job. Got yourself some rally fries. There's Alicia Kaya from Washington State University passing out the rally fries. Kaylee, enjoy the game, sweetheart.
She had a lot of fries.
There you go. How you doing, sweetie? Casey Kochman, 2-0 the count, a home run in the second. And he takes a strike at the count, 2-1. For Casey, that was his 5th home run of the year, Mike, and it tied the game at 1-1.
Jumped on a first pitch fastball out to right center field at 400 feet. Casey, you know, he went through that stretch where he wasn't playing much. This ball driven to center field.
Meyer getting back, though, in time in front of the warning track on the run to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
But ever since he was in Detroit, he got into the lineup, and Don has not been able to take him back out. So you have to give him a lot of credit. You know, I'm sure he was not happy that he wasn't playing on a consistent basis. And you kind of look around, you're wondering where is he going to play with Russell, because Russell was playing some first base, but now Russell's the DH because Milton is having an issue with his knee, so he's going to miss a few days. But since then, Casey has really swung the bat well. Hit a couple of home runs now.
Exactly, and the best way to get back in the lineup is to hit your way back in, and that's what Casey's been doing for the past week.
That's true. You have to have the opportunity to do it, and he was given that, and he just hasn't turned it loose since. So good for him.
Casey Kochman tying it up with that home run in the second. Michael Saunders has the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's ball 2, 2-1. That tells you, you know, Casey was busy doing stuff when things were going well. He was working on stuff.
He just wasn't sitting in his locker crying about it. He was out working every day, hoping that he would get the opportunity that he's been given, and he's making the most of it. Yeah. He started the season off in such good shape, hit 3 home runs, it seemed like out of the game. Then he went through that period where he struggled. And now, since he's been back in a handful of games, he's already hit a couple of home runs.
Casey Kochman back in that starting lineup over at first base. Saunders takes up and away for ball 4. So Michael Saunders walks for the second time. That's the third walk given up by Mr. Davies. Go ahead run out at first base with 2 down, and that'll bring up catcher Rob Johnson.
He walked with 2 outs in the second inning and stole second base. Why not do it again?
And you see first base coach Mike Bromley with the stopwatch. He's getting the time on Davies, how quick he is to the plate. 1-2, 1-3. Usually you can't run in a guy like that in 1.4 seconds. He got a chance to steal second. Johnson takes a pitch outside, ball 1. And there's a stopwatch that Mike Bromley is holding to get the time on Kyle Davies.
Pitcher was 1-3, you would steal it, wouldn't you, Rick?
Nope.
No?
Maybe back in the day.
That's what I was talking about, not today.
Pitcher would need to be about 7.2 all played down. 1-1 the count on Johnson. Toss over to first base. Saunders back to the bag. When you run at first base coach Sammy Mejia say, hey, you can run.
Never said that to me.
You said you do it.
Pretty much.
he can get this guy right. One hopper right back to the mound. Taken by Davies. Soft toss to first to get Johnson. That will retire the side. And after 40 to play, and the sunshine here in Seattle. Mariners 1, Kansas City 1.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Mariners and the Royals tied at 1-1 as we go to the top half of the fifth inning. Doug Fister delivers to Scott Pasednik a strike, 0-1. Doug's last two outings against Milwaukee and Detroit, coming off the 15-day disable list. Ground ball left side, charging Josh Wilson. Quick flip to first in time to get Pasednik, who can run. So one out for the Royals. You got to keep Pasednik off the bases, and the Mariners have, Doug Fister has, 3 times.
Well, you know, the thing that you like to see is Doug, who has struggled early in the game through the first 3 innings. Now he's gone out and he's retired the last 5 in a row. Look for some progress for him, and I guess you classify both pitchers as effectively wild in this game today.
Yeah.
They've only given up 1 run each.
Now, as a hitter, when a pitcher is effectively wild,
it's tougher.
How tough is that for you as a hitter?
It's tougher, I think, because you try to get a game plan, especially as the game is rolling along, and you see the guy the second time and then the third time, you have an idea of how he's going to try to pitch you. But if they're missing their spots, it's hard to zone up in an area.
Yeah.
You know he's trying to get you out inside.
And he actually does go there. Tries to go there,
but if he misses his spots a lot. Nice play by Lopez.
Holy smokes! What a catch by Jose Lopez, robbing Jason Kendall of an extra base hit. Lopez, a flying Walenda, way to his right. 2 outs for Kansas City.
See Lopez getting ready. The ball is hit. And that's the way you play third base. It's usually a step and a dive if you're going to get to it. Playing up on the grass, too. Nice reactions by Lopez.
That's our Coors Light Freeze cam. What a catch. Lopez way to his right. That ball started to get behind him, Mike. Got out there and took a hit away from Kendall. So 2 down, and here is David DeJesus. And he takes down low for ball 1. Just to finish the thought that
if they're missing those spots, so you kind of have an idea of when they're going to come inside, and maybe they're trying to catch your sets up in there so you have it right, but the pitcher's missing all over the place, either too far in. So your game plan kind of goes out the window, and I think now watching both clubs, it looks to me like they've noticed that and they're trying to get themselves into some hitters counts. Let them throw enough balls to where now I'm 2-0, 3-1, that kind of thing, and just look for a fastball in the middle of the plate.
I noticed that Davies has been pitching a little backwards. He's been throwing that changeup on 3-2 and striking out Branyan and getting another strikeout on an off-speed pitch. Yeah. 2-1 on David DeJesus, who has 2 hits tonight, 2 singles. batting .329 for the year. And it's inside for ball 3, 3-1.
That's a good pitch.
Wow. Tracer says it was a strike. Brian Gorman, the plate umpire, said it wasn't. Doug has got some pitches inside that strike zone. Well hit, but pulled foul down the right field side, and the count is full on De Jesus at 3-2.
Doug is now at 90 pitches.
Pitch count way up there. Through 99 pitches, Mike, in his last start, 4 2/3 innings in Detroit, and over 90 pitches in 4 innings in Milwaukee. So he's still trying to get back. Fail pitch. Line drive center field, but Franklin Gutierrez is there to put it away for out number 3. A 1-2-3 top of the 5th. What a catch by Lopez at third, robbing Jason Kendall. We go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 1. Josh Wilson sends a drive deep into right center field. Mitch Meyer getting back in time to make the catch. One pitch, one away for the Mariners. 1-1 tie, bottom of the 5th.
Puts a good swing on it. Meyer, we've already seen in this series, he covers a lot of ground out in center field.
He's done a nice job in the series. Here is Ichiro at the infield base hit. Little chop hit to the right side of the infield that gets the second baseman overran, but it was a base hit. Hit number 112 on the year for Ichiro. Strike 0-1. Ichiro now with 2,142 career hits, 196th all time on the hit list. He's behind some interesting names. Ken Boyer, 2,143 hits, also with 2,143. Tommy Leach played way back when, and Ken Griffey Sr. This is ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Senior finished out his playing days in the 90 and played a few games in 1991 with the Mariners, and Woody Woodward, the GM at the time, Mike, in 1990 was able to pull off that deal with the Reds to bring Senior over here to play with Junior. One of the most incredible things we've ever seen. Father and son playing together in the major leagues.
How old was Junior that year?
Junior was 20. Senior was 40. Popped up foul on a play on
and
the
Senior played
side.
well, right, for the time that he was with Seattle that year.
Mike, in the last month of the year in September, Senior hit .377 with 3 home runs and 17 runs batted in the month of September.
Yeah.
yeah, he was a tough out. They had a lot of fun out there. Senior in left and junior in center. Fouled out of play on the third base side, and the count is still 2-2.
How many times did Junior call him off the fly balls? Did he ever let him catch one?
I remember the fly ball in left center field that Senior was ready to catch, and Junior went flying over right in front of his dad and made the catch, and Senior just stood there, put his hands on his hips, and shook his head. Then he came in. They both sat down in the dugout, Mike, and he read him the riot. Fly ball left center field on the run again. Meyer with a dive and a catch. Holy smokes, what a grab out there in left center field. Mitch Meyer robbing Ichiro of an extra base hit, flying to his right.
He's made two nice plays in this inning. Josh Wilson out in right center, and now Ichiro in left center. Meyer really helping Davies out.
What a catch. Way over the left center field, parallel with the ground. Got it. What a play. And here is second baseman Sean Figgins. Shows bunt, and he takes a strike from Davies. 0-1. And down through the years, Mike, it's always fun to watch the play of some of the top center fielders in the game. Year after year after year.
Mariners have had some good ones.
Ken Griffey Jr., Mike Cameron, this kid right here, Franklin Gutierrez.
Your buddy, Dave Henderson.
Dave Henderson, back in the early 80s, and he went to Boston, on to Oakland. Devon White out there. Center field, Gary Pettis. Bunt attempt, third base side. Picked up by the pitcher, Davis. Wheels, throws the first in time to get Figgins for out number 3. What a catch, though, by center fielder Mitch Meyer, robbing Ichiro after 5 innings of play. Game tied. Mariners 1, Kansas City. Well, we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Mariners and the Royals all tied at 1 apiece. Billy Butler to lead things off with ball 1 from Doug Fister, who's settled down over the last couple of innings after throwing quite a few pitches in the first 3. Well hit deep down the left field line. This one is going to be off the top of the wall. Butler to second. He's going to put on the brakes. The throw by Saunders to Figgins. Over to Kutchman, and Billy Butler's out at first base. Holy smokes, what a play by Saunders. Playing the ricochet off the hand-operated scoreboard in left field. Fired it into Figgins. Butler wanted to go to second. Stop, changed his mind, and he couldn't get back to first. How about that?
Billy Butler makes a couple of mistakes First he hits the ball. He thought it was a home run. He wasn't running hard right away. And then I think he tried to make up for that. And in the end, he gets caught in between first and second.
Here's a strike on Alberto Callaspo, 0-1. So it just missed being a home run, and Butler is out at first base. Fly ball, center field. Easy play for Franklin Gutierrez. Puts it in his hip pocket for the second out of the inning.
Take a look at Butler when he hits this. I'm not sure what he was thinking about. We saw Saunders pick it up right away.
Made two wide turn at first, number one. Changed his mind. I'm going to second. No, I'm not. And he didn't get back to first base. So 2 down, and here's Wilson Betemit, who is 0 for 1 tonight. He had the big night last night, 3 for 4 with a home run. All 3 RBIs. Line drive, left center field. That's going to drop in front of Gutierrez for a base hit. So some indecision, obviously, on the part of Billy Butler, and the Mariners cashed in on that, Mike.
Well, they did. You think about it, if he just stops at first base, now Doug has some issues. You're first and second. And, you know, now he has 2 outs and just a runner at first. Chance to get through this inning.
Myers sends a fly ball to center field. Back it up. Franklin Gutierrez is there, and he makes the catch. And that's it for Kansas City in the top of the 6th. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th tied. Mariners 1, Kansas City 1. Oh, you're right, Angie. Look at that. The sun glistening off the skyscrapers in downtown Seattle. What a Wednesday night here in the Northwest. Russell Branyan leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Mariners of the Royals are tied at 1-1. Branyan with a little broken bat looper base hit single in the 3rd. 13 home runs on the year. 10 as a Cleveland Indian. 3 with the Mariners. Down and in. Ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's hit safely now in 8 of his last 9 games. That's coming over from the Tribe with 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in.
One game that he didn't hit him was a pinch hit appearance that he ended up striking out on. But every game he started, he's had at least 1 hit in.
Tried to check his swing, went after it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up and in, a fastball from Kyle Davies, ball 2.
Davies has really pounded him inside in the game and then tried to get him out away with the changeup or a backdoor breaking ball. But he's throwing him a lot of fastballs in off the plate.
third, but right there is Callaspo. Toss across, and it's in time to get Branyan. One out for the Mariners, bottom of the 6th inning. Well, ride and save on Sound Transit Sounder Train. For more information on schedules and routes, visit soundtransit.org. And there it is. One of the best round trippers in Seattle, Sound Transit. Here's Jose Lopez. 0 for 2 on the night, but man, he's made 2 nice plays, Mike, defensively at third base. Taking a double away from Jason Kendall. Saving some pitches for Doug Fister. On a play on the first base side, 1-1. It's got to feel good as a third baseman or any infielder, Mike, when you make a play like that and the pitcher looks over at you and gives you a thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, it does. And the Mariners made a number of nice plays for him. Franklin Gutierrez has been real busy out in center field tonight. He's run down a number of balls in the gaps.
Mitch Meyer out in center field has helped Kyle Davies. That's down on the way. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 3. Full count. All the way on the third base side, still 3-2. Boston and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay beating the Red Sox at Tropicana Field 6-4. Rafael Soriano, the closer for Tampa Bay, he's going to the All-Star game. Mariano Rivera was selected to the team by the players, but he's not going to be able to pitch because of some nagging injuries. Swing and a miss by Lopez for strike 3. So Soriano is going to go. He was next in line in the vote by the players. So that roster has been kind of fluid, that all-star roster, the last few days. Time for our U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. How about this guy? This guy catches almost every day. Jason Kendall of the Kansas City Royals. 2008, he caught 149 games. Look at Randy Hundley, Mike, with the Cubs in 68, 156 games.
Carlton Fisk up there a couple of times, 149 and 150.
I was talking with Jason.
Surprised I didn't see Pudge on there.
Yeah, Hundley, Carter, Simmons, Carlton Fisk, Jason Kendall. Yeah, Ivan Rodriguez. Outside on Gutierrez for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I was talking with Jason Kendall before the ball game. He said, take a look at Hughes, the lefty warming up for the Royals. I said, what's your mindset at the start of the season? He says, my mindset is to catch about 145, 150 games if I can, but I've been fortunate to stay healthy. His dad was a catcher, Fred Kendall, for years in the big leagues with the San Diego Padres and Boston Red Sox, one other club. He's a tough guy. This is his 15th year. I said, how do you feel? He says, you know what? I got my bumps and bruises and aches, but I always want to be in there. Swing and a miss by Gutierrez, and the count goes to 2-2.
That's the biggest battle. You have to have a want to do it. You watch Brian Sweeney getting loose out in the Mariner pen. If you don't have that sort of mentality, you'll never catch 145 games. It just won't happen.
He said, the only game I feel good is opening day. He said pretty much that's it. You know what he wants to do, he and Willie, when their baseball careers are over?
No.
2-man bobsled in the Winter Olympics. They're shooting for 2018. They're serious about it. Down and away, ball 3, full count. Make it ball 4 on Gutierrez, so he's on at first base with 2 outs. But Jason Kendall and Willie Blomqvist, they have it planned out. They're serious about it. They've talked to the Winter Olympic Committee, and they want to give it a shot. Willie's going to be the driver, and they want to see if they can enter the Winter Olympics in the 2-man bobsled category.
What year?
2018, Willie said they're shooting for. Here is Casey Kochman. How about that for a goal?
Good luck.
Kochman with a home run back in the second, takes a strike, 0-1. I said, how did that get started? Where did that get hatched, that idea? He said, Willie was talking about it at spring training. I'm listening to it. Everybody else thought, it was just a joke. But I said, you know what? Why not? They're going to give it a shot. Over to first base to get Gutierrez back to the bag. Two-man bobsled. Pitch out by Kendall.
That's a great example of how much these guys travel. Too much time on their hands.
The United States team won the gold in Vancouver this year, but they're looking at 2018. Little tapper fouled away just to the right side of home plate. 1-2 the count on Casey Kotchman. What sport would you try in the Winter Olympics? Like ski jump?
No way.
No way.
No way.
I got mine. Curling. Over to first, and Gutierrez gets back to the bag.
You throwing the rock, or you the guy with the broom?
Well, you switch off. You do both.
Oh, yeah,
you got to get that thing in the house, you know. I really enjoyed that. One, two.
Well hit ball deep to right field. And this one is gone. Goodbye baseball. Casey Kotchman with his second home run of the ball game with Gutierrez aboard this time. And the Mariners now lead Kansas City 3-1. What a night for Casey Kotchman. He hit number 5 back in the second, and here's home run number 6 on the year. Line drive home run to right field.
Well, last night it was Benamik for the Royals to drive in all of their runs, and tonight it's Casey Kotchman. 3 RBIs for him with a couple of home runs. This is a line drive. This ball doesn't get out by much. It hooks right over the top of the fence.
2 out, 2-run home run off the bat of Casey Kotchman. Here's Michael Saunders. He takes a look at ball 1. Here's a look at the swing one more time, Mike.
Again, just a hooking line drive. I wasn't sure he had enough of it to hit it over the fence.
Saunders with a line shot foul down the line. Heads up down there. And the count is even on Michael at 1-1. That is the second multi-home run game in the career of Casey Kotchman. Right center in the second. Line drive straight away right field here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 3-1 Mariner lead. Look at that. Last 5 games, 9 for 16 for Casey with 3 home runs. 2-1 on Saunders. And give some credit, Mike, to Franklin Gutierrez with that 2-out walk, giving Kotchman a chance to do some damage. Popped up behind home plate right in front of us. Can't get to it. 2-2 on Saunders. What?
He could have gotten to it. He had to dive for it.
Well, way too far out there.
All right.
Got a foul ball last homestand, though.
He missed it, though. Error Riz.
It was really spinning. I had it in my hands, and it dropped out of my hands
It was
right
an
out of
error.
the table. I caught it again.
It was an error.
Okay. But I got it for my grandson. Davies doesn't like the feel of that baseball. 2-2 on Michael Saunders.
Davies' next pitch will be 110 for him.
He went 7 2/3 innings his last start down in Anaheim. No decision. But Kansas City won that game 2-1. Strike 3 called at the knees. A little slider from Kyle Davies. That'll end the inning. But Casey Kotchman with his second home run of the night. 2-run shot to right, and after 6, Mariners 3, Royals 1. All right, thank you, Angie. We go to the top half of the 7th inning with the Mariners leading by a score of 3-1. A couple of home runs for Casey Kotchman tonight. And that's going to be it for Doug Fister this evening. Mike, he goes 6 innings, throws 97 pitches.
And you look at the rest of the numbers, you're going to think, well, he pitched pretty well. I bet he's not real happy. I mean, in the end, he ended up doing well. He has the lead. He only gave up the 1 run, but he wasn't as sharp as we're used to seeing him. He has some more work to do in his bullpen work between now and his next start. But right now, he has a chance to win the ballgame. Did a nice job through his struggles to just give up the 1 run.
Ryan Sweeney takes over in relief. A swing and a miss by Yuniesky Betancourt evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And here are the numbers for Brian, up from Tacoma about 3 weeks ago. He's appeared in only 4 games. He's done a nice job. He has a good changeup. Down the line, well hit, and this one is going to be a fair ball in toward the corner. Extra bases. Betancourt in there at second with a leadoff double to greet Sweeney into the ball game. It was good to see Doug Fister come back after throwing a lot of pitches early in the game in the first 3 innings. Settle down over the next 3. So 1 on, nobody out, and that'll bring up second baseman Chris Getz. Getz is 1 for 2, doubled back in the second. And then Doug was able to get Pasednik with 2 on and 2 outs for a big out for him in the second inning. Getz tries the bunt and fouls it away, and it hit him when he was out of the box, and he's out. So Chris Getz tried to bunt. That ball hit him when his foot was out of the batter's box. He is out. Rob Johnson pointed it out right away to home plate umpire Brian Gorman. 1 out for Kansas City.
We'll take a look at it. That is really close, isn't it?
Yep.
That's such a tough call for the umpire. I think Rob helped him out a little bit. It's fine if it hits you and you're in the box.
Right.
Brian Gorman said he was out of it when the ball hit him, so he's out.
But out goes to the catcher. 1 out, 1 on, and here is Scott Pasednik, and that is ball 1. Here's a look at it one more time, Mike.
Ball will bounce up and hit him in the knee.
Look, his foot is out of the batter's box.
Good call.
Coming in toward the plate. Out of play on the third base side. 1-1 on Pasednik. Mariners 3 runs, only 4 hits. Casey Kotchman doing the damage. 2 for 3 with 2 home runs and 3 runs batted in. Kansas City 1 run on 7 base hits. Ball 2, 2-1. Ryan Sweeney from Yonkers, New York. He had a chance to pitch at Yankee Stadium when we were there a few days ago on the last road trip. Used to go out there to old Yankee Stadium as a kid with his dad. Fly ball into center field, backing up Franklin Gutierrez. Now he's got a beat on it. He's there to make the catch. Betancourt will tag. He'll go from second to third, but there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Say tomorrow the Mariners will meet the Yankees, and tonight you're going to receive a cap designed to be worn just like the kid intended. Backwards. The first 20,000 fans will pick up a Ken Griffey Jr. backwards cap courtesy of ING Direct. Purchase your tickets today at any Mariners team store or at mariners.com. Beautiful sunset here in the Pacific Northwest. Look at that golden glow across the sound. Jason Kendall robbed of a base hit by Jose Lopez in the 5th inning. Line shot. Jose diving to his right. Make the catch in the 5th. 0-1. In the dirt, knocking it down up the first base line. Johnson retrieve. Aaron tossed to Sweeney, and here comes Betancourt on to score from third. So a wild pitch in the dirt that rolled up that first base line after bouncing off of Johnson. And it's now the Mariners 3, Kansas City 2 on a wild pitch.
And you have to give Betancourt a lot of credit. See the wild pitch in the dirt. A lot of times when the ball bounces initially, you wait and see. And Betancourt didn't hesitate. He was able to get in there and make it a 1-run ball game.
So it's 3-2 Mariners. Kendall a check swing. Did he go? He did not. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. All the way behind the plate. 2-2. Mariners trying to hang on to that lead and give Doug Fister his first win since May the 14th. When Fister beat Tampa Bay 4-3. That was 54 days ago. Ground ball pulled foul on the third base side, and the count is still 2-2. One of the big bats for Kansas City is out of the lineup. Youngster comes away with a baseball. Jose Guillen out with a sore leg, injured in last night's game. Fly ball into left center field. Going back, Franklin Gutierrez near the 1-inch track. Goody's there, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Kansas City 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left on. 7th inning stretch time after 6.5 here at Safeco Field. Mariners 3, Kansas City 2. Their 7th inning stretch here at Safeco tonight. Mariners have the lead by a score of 3-2 over the Royals as you take a look at a great sight of the sunset across Puget Sound. New pitcher for the Royals, Victor Marte, will take over in relief.
See Marte, 19 1/3, 11 strikeouts for him. He has given up 4 home runs. Opponent's average only 208.
From Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, 29 years of age. Victor Marte. Rob Johnson to lead things off with a strike 0-1. Kyle Davies numbers, Mike.
Take a look at it. About 4 hits and 3 runs. You can thank Casey Kochman for that. He has a couple of home runs, driven in all 3 runs for the Mariners.
Home runs 5 and 6 on the season for Casey Kochman. 0-2 on Rob Johnson. Took a nice play by Callaspo to retire Johnson back in the 2nd. Breaking ball down and away. Ball 1-1-2. Let's take a look at our Quest High Speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet. Doug Fister's fastball, top it out at 90. Kyle Davies was at 93. Back up the middle, Bencourt with a dive, can't get to it. Rob Johnson with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Rob hits this ball hard back up the middle as Rick had mentioned he was robbed by the third baseman Cayespo. Bettencourt trying to do the same thing, but couldn't get to it, so Rob will get a base hit.
So 1 out for the Mariners. Mariners trying to play a little add-on, Mike, in a close ball game. And here is shortstop Josh Wilson looking for a bunt. His third baseman Alberto Cayespo. Over to first to get Johnson back to the bag.
Would you bunt?
Sure. Give Ichiro a chance to drive in a run.
They would probably walk him, don't you think?
Then you got Figgins and Brandy. There's the bunt. Picked up by Marte. He'll go back to second in time for the force on Rob Johnson. So the bunt right back to the mound where Marte had time to field, turn around and throw back to second.
Well, firm right back to him, as you mentioned. Quick turn by the pitcher Marte and throws a strike to Bettencourt.
So a runner on at first base now, and that would be Mr. Wilson. So here's Ichiro. 1 for 3 with a base hit, infield single in the third. Outstanding catch by Meyer to take care of Ichiro in the 5th inning. 0-1. Marte spent 3 years pitching over in Japan in 2006, 7, and 8.
Brandon Lee getting loose, ready to pitch in the 8th inning.
In the dirt, knocking it down is Kendall, the catcher for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Victor Marte on in relief of Kyle Davies, who threw 110 pitches in 6 innings. Both starters threw a lot of pitches in 6 innings. Pfister threw 96, but Doug gave up only 1 run. Ground ball to short. Bettencourt over to second. Line throw, and it gets on by gets into right field. Wilson to third. Ichiro to second. Off of the ball down the right field line is David DeJesus. What a break for the Mariners, who have runners on at second and third with 1 away. They had a sure shot for 1, Mike.
I think that's all they were going to get, but Bettencourt a little lazy on his throw to second base. Throws it wide.
So an error on shortstop Yuniesky Bettencourt, his 10th error of the season. It'll be a fielder's choice and an error. And that'll bring up Sean Figgins with 2 on in scoring position. The Royals infield comes up close.
And Figgins has done a really nice job in these situations this year. I think it's only been 1 time that he hasn't been able to get the runner in from third. Overall, 11 out of 12. That is getting it done.
Keep your eyes on Josh Wilson, and time is called as Kendall goes out to the mound to have a talk with Marte, along with some of the middle infielders. Remember last night the Mariners had their first run on a squeeze bunt, a safety squeeze, but you got a chance of driving a couple right here with a base hit. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. There's Wilson. There's Ichiro. 1 out. Ground ball to short. Runners have to stay. Up with it is Bettencourt. Checks the runner third, and he gets Figgins at first base for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 on, 2 outs, and that will bring up Russell Branyan. Here's a look at the Mariner calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. After this series, the Bronx Bombers come to town. 4 games with the Yankees beginning tomorrow night, then the 3-day All-Star break, and then we go to Anaheim for a series with the Angels.
Back home for a tough homestand with the White Sox, who are playing better.
Yeah.
And then the Red Sox.
Chicago jumping back into the race in the American League Central with the Tigers and the Twins, and the Royals wisely taking the bat out of the hands of Russell Branyan. They will walk Branyan, intentional walk. Mariners will have the bases loaded for Jose Lopez.
Lopez came up in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded. Hit into a 1-2-3 double play.
So Jose Lopez will get up there with the table set and 2 outs. A chance to give the Mariners a little separation between themselves and Kansas City.
What do you think about the intentional walks? Do they just put them on, or do you like him to throw the 4 pitches?
I think you still got to make him throw the 4 pitches.
I think so too. You never know. Might throw him to the backstop.
Exactly. And there's always that 1 in a billion chance that something might go over the plate and a hitter might swing at it. It's not a great idea, but it can happen. But I still think you have to make them throw the 4 pitches.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anybody do that. Have you?
Curtis just told me down in the truck that it did happen.
The hitter from the Marlins a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I want to say that I saw Junior do it one time. Remember how he used to walk up on pitches? I think he stepped out there one time and ended up getting a base hit.
Here's Jose Lopez now with the bases full. And he jumps back away from ball 1. He's done a great job defensively tonight with 2 fine plays. Now a chance to do some damage with the bat. Wilson, Ichiro, Branyan aboard. 3-2 Mariners lead. Bottom of the 7th inning. Popped up foul behind home plate and out of play, and it's 1-1.
And he had a pitch to hit. That pitch looked like it was a fastball middle in. That's where Jose Lopez likes. He likes the ball close to him, but he had a nice fastball to hit at 94 miles an hour.
Mariners have 1 grand slam home run this year. Jose Lopez in Chicago.
Well, don't you think they should have 2 by now?
Right now. Maybe right here in this 1-1 pitch. And a little breaking ball at the knees for a strike. 1-2.
What Jose has done in his career with the bases loaded. Nice numbers, 429 average.
With that 1 grand slam. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Backing up Callaspo. He'll go down to second for the force on Branyan coming down the line, and that'll end the inning. So the Mariners leave the bases loaded. And we go to the top half of the 8th. Mariners 3, Kansas City 2. All right, Angie, we go to the top half of the 8th inning. The Mariners leading the Royals by a score of 3-2. Mariners with a new pitcher, right-hander Brandon League, takes over in relief, delivers ball 1 to David DeJesus. DeJesus is 2 for 3, and he takes outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Brandon League's numbers: 43 in the third innings pitched so far this year, 32 strikeouts, 13 walks.
Popped up and out of play behind home plate. 2-1. League with a new baseball from home plate umpire Brian Gorman. Tonight's paid attendance 16,954 for the finale of the 3-game series with the Royals. Kansas City will be coming back later on. Fouled away again behind home plate. 2-2 on DeJesus. Kansas City will be here in early August. Texas, Kansas City, and Oakland. Brandon League trying to keep DeJesus off the bases in a 1-run game. This guy's swinging a hot bat, Mike. Last 32 games, he's hitting .397. Check swing. Did not go. Ball 3, full count.
You have to give DeJesus a lot of credit after seeing a bunch of 96-mile-an-hour fastballs to lay off of that pitch, off-speed pitch, just down and out of the zone. Did a nice job hitting a full count this year, 342.
Overall, 329 on the year. Inside, off the plate for ball 4. Leadoff walk to David DeJesus, and the Royals have the tying run aboard at first. So beginning tomorrow, the Mariners will host the Yankees. Don't miss this 4-game series, as it's the Yankees' only visit to Safeco Field this season. Plus, Cliff Lee is scheduled to pitch on Friday, and Felix Hernandez will take them out on Saturday. Good seats are still available. Lock in your tickets today at Mariners.com. Jason Vargas will get the start tomorrow night against Andy Pettitte in game 1 of the 4-game set. Here is Billy Butler. Ran himself into an out after hitting one off the top of the wall in left field his last time up in the 6th inning. He takes a strike 0-1. Hit one right near that yellow line of the hand-operated scoreboard and left. The ball came right back to Michael Saunders, fired into Sean Figgins. Figgins, the Kochman, hit right off the E for air right there, and Butler was out trying to get back to first base. Inside, Butler getting away, 1-1. Ball 2-2-1. Butler a sacrifice fly and a run batted in, though, back in the 1st inning.
And Brandon needs to make a good pitch here, Rick. You don't want to go to a 3-1 count when Billy Butler likes to hit the fastball. Having a nice year, hitting .325 overall.
On the ground, a double play candidate. In the air, the guy can hit it a long way, and that's low. Ball 3-1 at Butler. With Callaspo due up next. Skipper Don Wakamatsu looking out, along with pitching coach Rick Adair, bench coach Ty Van Berkelio. Runner goes, and it's low and outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks given up by Brandon League. And now the Royals have the tying run on its second, and the go-ahead run is out at first base.
So Lopez will have to play in this situation. Rick, you have Callaspo coming up there. He's a nice hitter for him. 278, 7 home runs on the year. As Rick Adair will go out and have a conversation with Brandon. So there's a lot of different things that the Royals can do in this situation. Try to bunt him over, maybe even a hit and run. Let him swing if you want to. It really puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
So they talk things over, and Callaspo is 1 for 3 tonight with a base hit into center field. Manager is Ned Yost of Kansas City. Took over back on May the 14th, and ever since he has, they're 3 games over 500 at 23, at 26 and 23. They were 12 and 23 at the time they let Trey Hillman go. Rob Johnson going through the defensive signs out in front of home plate for the infielders.
Letting the infielders know which base he's going to throw to if they try to steal.
Close at third is Lopez. De Jesus is on at second. Butler at first base. Callaspo shows bunt, and he takes a pitch for ball one. Rob Johnson looking down at second base, and that made De Jesus hustle back to the bag.
Garrett Olson back up again. He was up last inning throwing, and he'll get loose in a hurry.
Callaspo shows bunt again, and it's inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes.
Brandon's having a tough time finding the strikes on 13 pitches. 10 balls, only 3 strikes.
Way off on the ratio. Way off. Walking De Jesus and Billy Butler, and now he's behind on Callaspo, who's trying to bunt 2-0. Shows bunt early. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. 2-1.
He was taking that pitch the whole way, Rick. 2-0 count. They certainly see the same situation that we are with Brandon struggling. He squared around the bunt, but he had no intentions of bunting that pitch. He was going to take it.
Brandon coming in at first. There's a pitch, and it's high. Ball 3. 3-1 the count on Callaspo.
And this is when it gets tough. Don Wakamatsu putting on the bump plays, having his infielders move around. And at 3-1 count, there's no guarantees that he won't swing away here, Rick.
I mean, Kochman coming in over at first base.
And he's backing up now.
The 3-1. And he made the attempt at foul, tipped it into Rob Johnson's glove. Full count 3-2. Well, now he's going to have to swing away unless they want to take a chance.
I think he's going to swing.
So Callaspo cannot get the bunt down. 2 on, nobody out. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, well hit ball deep to right field. Down the line, goodbye baseball. Alberto Callaspo, who is trying to sacrifice, couldn't. Has just hit one out of the ballpark down the right field side. His 8th home run of the year. And the Royals now lead by a score of 5-3. They take advantage of the back-to-back walks and then the home run by Callaspo.
And Brandon gives him a fastball. Take a look at it. Middle in. Pitches up. He has to go right at him. He can't afford another walk, and he throws a pitch that Callaspo can handle. He hits it deep into the stands.
So the Royals have taken over the lead 5-3. And here comes Don Wakamatsu out of the dugout. And that is going to be it for Brandon League. Don't go away. 5-3 Kansas City. Will be back after this timeout. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. The new pitcher is lefty Garrett Olson.
It's been a tough series for the Mariners so far, especially Brandon Lee in the first game of this series. He struggled through that. As you take a look at Garrett Olson's numbers, 9 2/3, 4 strikeouts, 7 walks. He has not given up a home run. Opponent's average 263.
Brandon Lee did not record it out. Gave up 3 runs, 1 hit. The home run by Callaspo is undoing the walks to De Jesus and Butler, the 2 walks. Mariner pitchers have walked 4, Mike, in this game, and 3 have come around to score. Here is Wilson Benameat.
And still nobody out here in the 8th inning.
Yeah. Benameat is 1 for 2 with a single, a strike, 0-1. Kansas City now with 5 runs on 8 base hits. Mariners 3 runs on 5. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Benameat. Mariners really miss. We've said it time and time again. Mark Lowe.
Yes. Huge loss for this club. Team that knew coming out of spring training they were going to be in a lot of close ball games, and Mark was such a big part of the difference last year, them winning those games.
Yeah.
That was a huge loss for them.
Shutting down teams in the 8th inning. Handed the ball last year over to David Arnsman to pick up his 38 saves on the season. Had that back surgery a short while ago. It's down on away ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mark told me yesterday that he might be able to start playing a little catch in about 6 weeks. Swing and a miss by Benameat for strike 3. 1 out for Kansas City here in the top half of the 8th. They now lead it 5-3. Say, friends, All-Star voting isn't over quite yet. Through tomorrow, you can still vote for the 34th and final player for each league roster. So go to Mariners.com and cast your All-Star Game final vote for the final 2 All-Stars for the game in Anaheim Tuesday, July 13th. Vote at Mariners.com. Mitch Meyer takes a strike from Olson, 0-1. Meyer is 0 for 3 tonight, but he's made 2 fine plays defensively out there in center field. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So Doug Fister, the starter, who left with a 3-2 lead, will come away with a no decision. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 run. Down low for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I sure like the way Doug was able to bounce back, Mike, after throwing quite a few pitches in the first 3 innings, settle down and pitch well the next 3.
For progress, Rick, at this point, with him coming off the DL. This start was a big one for him. Last outing, he only threw 4 2/3 innings. And you're right, I think he struggled early in the game, especially trying to get the ball down, and then he settled down and really did a nice job. You have to give him credit. You know, a lot of times when things aren't going well, you end up giving up a lot of runs. He didn't do that. He only gave up the 1 run.
Here's a look at his pitch count inning by inning.
A lot of 24 in the first, 23 in the second, 21 in the third. Those are big numbers, especially for him. He's usually efficient, at least he had been all year. But it's progress.
It's a good step in the right direction after the previous 2 starts where it lasted less than 5 innings and threw quite a few pitches. So that was good to see tonight from Doug Fister. Down and away in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike, there's an ebb and flow to the season. There's an ebb and flow to each and every ball game. The momentum changes, and just how do you keep yourself going late in the ball game when things don't go well, and you know you still got some time. Well hit ball deep to right field. Towering home run way out here to right off the advertising sign out by the Hit It Here Cafe. Mitch Meyer with a long home run, his 3rd home run of the season, and the Royals now lead by a score of 6-3.
This is a no doubt about it. Hits it, catches that fastball. You can take a look at it right in the middle of the plate. Hits this ball a long ways.
Wow. Almost into the seating area outside the Hit It Here Cafe. Swinging a ground ball foul by Betancourt along the left field side. And it's 0-1. So Kansas City with 2 home runs here in the top half of the 8th inning off the UW Medicine sign. Way back to right field. Fans waving to us up there in the seating area. Well, that ball almost landed. So 4 runs are in for the Royals here in the 8th inning. They now lead 6-3. Betancourt doubled in the 7th inning. He came around to score in a wild pitch. But a 3-run home run by Alberto Callaspo, who was really trying to sacrifice 2 runners along, but couldn't. And a 3-2 pitch and a home run to right. Now the home run by Meyer. Still 1-2. Royals don't hit a lot of home runs. 56 home runs coming into tonight's game, 12th in the American League, but they have 2 tonight. Mariners have 2, both by Casey Kochman. Line drive, and this one's going to be fair, just fair down the left field line. Betancourt heading for second. Up with the ball is Michael Saunders. So Yuniesky Betancourt out at second base with his 2nd double tonight. So the Mariners are keeping the pressure on Garrett Olson.
Take a look at the swing by Betancourt. It's an off-speed pitch that he hits out in front of the plate. Betancourt's had his share of hits in this series, and it seems like he's pulling everything. So he hit a ball up the middle of the other way. Yeah.
Just on the line, fair. Third base umpire Tony Randazzo had a good look at it. Now manager Don Wakamatsu going out there.
And Betancourt would have had 3 doubles in this game if it weren't for the great diving play by Lopez.
Exactly. Jose made that play back in the 4th inning. Don Wakamatsu having a little talk with Tony Randazzo, the umpire at third base. The ball landed right in front of him.
I didn't see anything on the replay. Did you, Rick? It looked like it hit the line. Take another look at it. It looked like it hit right on the outside of the line. That's a fair ball.
See some of the white paint come up where the ball landed. So it was a fair ball, just barely fair, but it kicked up some of that white paint right there. We have conclusive proof. Chris Getz, the hitter, and he takes ball 1. Good job by the camera guys here. And ladies. Ball 2. Ton of pitches by League and now Olson here in the top half of the 8th.
Next pitch will be number 20 for Olson.
League through 17 pitches. Popped up, shallow center field, going out Josh Wilson calling for it. And Wilson will make the catch. And that's out number 2. Franklin Gutierrez was right there to help out, but Josh stayed with it. So 1 out, 2 away, 4 runs in. Kansas City leads 6-3. Say tomorrow on Mariners All Access, the paperboy Josh Wilson stops by for an exclusive one-on-one conversation. Plus, with the World Cup in full swing, the players debate whose baseball skills would translate best onto the soccer field. That and more tomorrow at 6 right here on FSN. Scott Posednik with a strike 0-1. Jack Wilson is pretty good soccer player.
Play some soccer growing up?
Not really.
Not really? No, me either.
Went out to the park sometimes if there was a bunch of kids kicking the soccer ball around. Went out there. Mark Engelbrecht is a comedian down in the truck. When I played, the ball was all leather. I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, so there were some kids that would play, and they were pretty good. Swing and a miss by Posednik with a pitch in the dirt. Robbie Johnson knocks it down, puts the tag on Posednik for the out, a strikeout for for Garrett Olson. But the Royals do a lot of damage. 4 runs, top of the 8th. They've got the lead after 7.5. Royals 6 and the Mariners 3. By a score of 6-3, Kansas City with 4 runs in the top half of the 8th. Time now for our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Casey Kotchman with his first of 2 home runs, Mike, in the bottom half of the 2nd. Hit another one in the 6th.
I think along with Doug Fister battling today to get through 6 innings, giving up just the 1 run. Casey Kotchman, the one bright spot in this game so far.
So we've got a new pitcher for Kansas City. Kyle Farnsworth will take over in relief as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-3 Royals. Gutierrez, Kotchman, and Saunders for the Mariners. Numbers for Farnsworth. Delivers inside, ball 1. So that's it for Victor Marte. Marte goes 1 scoreless inning, walked 1. That was an intentional walk. Down and away. Ball. And they call that a strike. 1-1 the count on Gutierrez. On a play behind the plate. 1-2. Gutierrez with a walk in the 6th inning. He was aboard with 2 outs when Kotchman hit that 2nd home run. Strike 3 called. Gutierrez caught looking. Farnsworth with a strikeout. 1 out for the Mariners. Bottom of the 8th. That'll bring up Casey Kotchman. Big bat for the Mariners tonight. 2 for 3 with those 2 home runs and 3 runs batted in.
Jumped on a couple of fastballs tonight. He's certainly going to get some from Farnsworth.
Bounces 1 foul along the first base side, and the count is 0-1.
Farnsworth still throws hard, not quite as hard as he used to. He used to be upwards of around 100. It's topped out at 96 today, but typically from what we've seen in this series, he's been around 94 miles an hour with his fastball.
Fouled away behind the plate, and it's 0-2 on Casey. Casey had 2 home runs in a game, August of 2005 against Tampa Bay when he was with the Angels. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Farnsworth with back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-3 Royals. Say the first runner on the bases is set for Sunday when the Mariners face off with the Yankees, and all future stars 14 and under are invited down to the field to take a lap around the bases, courtesy of Key Bank. For tickets, visit Mariners.com or any Mariners team store location. Here's left fielder Michael Saunders. Michael has walked a couple of times, and he struck out his last time up in this 6th inning.
Tough pitch. Throwing 94, 95 miles an hour and slide it right in under his hands. He's over the top of it, but it's at 90 miles an hour.
Tough pitch. And that's a little low. Ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chad Cordero getting loose down to the Mariner bullpen. Fouled away. And it's still 1-2. Mariners right now with only 3 runs in this game. 3 runs or less this year. The Mariners are 8-39. 4 runs or more. They're 26-10. And a swing and a miss by Saunders for strike 3. Kyle Farnsworth comes on here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and he strikes out the side. We go to the top half of the 9th. Royals lead 6-3. Chad Cordero will take over in relief. All right, Angie, thank you very much. The Bad Dancer up there in the bleachers, high atop right field here at Safeco Field. Jason Kendall leading off the top of the 9th inning. Royals leading 6-3, and a strike from Chad Cordero, the new pitcher. 0-1 the count.
Numbers for Cordero: 7 2/3, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's not giving up a home run.
To operative third, Jose Lopez tossed across in time to get Kendall. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Brings up David DeJesus. When we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, due up Rob Johnson, Josh Wilson, and back to the top of the order, Ichiro. DeJesus started that 4-run rally for Kansas City in the 8th inning with a walk. Billy Butler then walked, and then Alberto Callaspo hit the 3-run home run to right field. Right now, that's the big base hit for Kansas City. Out of play on the left field side, 0-1. Tomorrow night, the Yankees in town. Game 1 of a 4-game series. There's Joaquin Soria, the closer for Kansas City. Soria with a save last night and a save the night before that. He has 24 saves on the year. He'll be going to the All-Star game for his 2nd time. Line drive center field. Gutierrez is there to make the catch. DeJesus lines out 2 away. Soria went 2 years ago in the last year of Old Yankee Stadium. Well, do you have the courage to rappel off a 41-story skyscraper for Special Olympics? Take your support to new heights by pledging to raise $1,000, and you can participate in Over the Edge, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rappel down one of Seattle's most famous skyscrapers, Rainier Tower. To reserve your spot, Mike, or to learn more, visit SOWA.org. Billy Butler. 0-1 the count. Fly ball right field. Backing up is Ichiro to the 1-inch track to the wall. Leaps up, and this one is off the top of the fence. Butler to second base. Ichiro gets the throw in, and it's going to be a double for Billy Butler.
Well, they're going to argue about this. Yost coming out of the dugout. It looked like that ball was over the line. Hit the little fence. There's a little fence right behind where the yellow line is, and it looked like it hit that and came back off the top of the fence onto the field of play.
Mike, it looked like by Ichiro's reaction that he thought it was gone.
Paul Nauert, the first base umpire, didn't see it that way.
New manager Ned Yost.
Take a look at it as Ichiro goes back. That is over the fence. It hits off the back wall and then comes back onto the field of play.
Yeah. Ichiro knew it was gone. He saw Butler just kind of coasting into second base. So now the umpires are going to take a look at the video. We've had that technology now the last couple of years, and they're going to see that ball leaving the ballpark. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back after this timeout. Well, the umpires took a look at the video. It left the ballpark, and that's what we saw in the replay. So now Kansas City leads at 7-3. A home run for Billy Butler, his 9th home run of the year. And this is Alberto Callaspo, who hit that big 3-run home run for Kansas City in the 8th. So the Royals, Mike, with 3 home runs in the last 2 innings. Ground ball is short. Josh Wilson scoops, throws, and little wide, and safe at first is Callaspo. The throw by Josh Wilson pulling, taking Kochman off the bag. And that is going to be an error on the throw by the shortstop, Josh Wilson.
Looked like Casey tried to get back and touch the base before Callaspo was able to get there. Throw pulls him off, tries to get back, but yeah, Callaspo beat it out.
So Callaspo on at first base, 2 down, 1 run in on the home run by Butler. Here is Wilson Benameat with a strike, 0-1. 7-3 Royals. 1-1. Mariners pen tonight, giving up 6 runs. 1-2. Benameat had the big bat last night with 3 RBIs in the 3-2 win over the Mariners. The Royals have now won 9 of their last 12. Playing a lot better baseball. Got things worked out down to the bullpen. Strike 3 called on Benameat, and that will retire the side. But Kansas City one more run on another home run, their 3rd of the game. Billy Butler with a home run. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 7-3 Royals lead. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners down by 4. 7-3 Kansas City, and Ryan Langerhans will lead it off. Pinch hitting for Rob Johnson. Langerhans, Wilson back to the top of the order, and Ichiro. Kansas City with another home run. Billy Butler getting one out to right field after the umpires took a look at the replay. Clearly showed the ball left the ballpark and then came back. Ball 3. 3-1 the count on Langerhans.
That home run mean much to the Mariners, but to Ned Yost it probably did, because you talked about Soria saving the last couple of ball games. So now that because it's not a safe situation, they sit him back down.
Rest him up, and that's outside for ball 4. So Ryan Langerhans with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Farnsworth struck out the side in the bottom of the 8th inning. The leadoff walk, and there he is again, getting ready to warm up Soria.
Saw him pulling his sleeves up. He's been wearing those sleeves, and they complained about the white writing on it, on Wakamatsu, so he's already getting ready. Pulling him up, covering up the white.
Josh Wilson takes strike 0-1. Remember the fiasco we had when Arthur Rhodes came in with a diamond earring and Omar Vizquel with Cleveland was hitting. Ball 1-1 the count, and Tim McClellan, one of the 4 umpires, made Arthur Lee take out the diamond earrings. Fouled away by Josh. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Going down the Mariners. See if they can get a few more base runners and get Russell Brandon to the plate, Rick.
Got Ichiro on deck. Wilson trying to get aboard.
Biggins after Ichiro, and then Brandon will hit.
Back up the middle into center field, and Josh Wilson has a single. That'll send Langerhans down to second. So the Mariners have 2 on with nobody out, and that'll bring up Ichiro.
And Ned Yost will come out of the dugout in a hurry.
He's going to go down and get us closer. Joakim Soria. So 2 on with nobody out. Mariners looking for another base runner to get that tying run to the plate. So the change is made. 7-3 Kansas City here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Don't go away. We'll be back after this timeout. Out 7-3 Royals, and manager Ned Yost brings in his closer Joakim Soria.
Rick, as you mentioned, going to the All-Star game, he has saved 24 out of 26 so far. 42 strikeouts for him. Just 9 walks.
So Soria saves in the first 2 games of the series. We'll take a look at Ichiro. The Mariners have Langerhans on at second and Josh Wilson on at first base. So they need 1 more base runner to get that tying run to the plate. Biggins is to up next, followed by Russell Brandon. So here's Ichiro, who has 1 hit tonight. He's 1 for 4. Ball 1. Kansas City, their beginning was a 4-run top half of the 8th. Here's a look at the in-game box score brought to you by Jack in the Box. Ichiro with a base hit tonight with the big bat. Russell Brandon, 2 hits, 2 home runs. Swing and a foul back by Ichiro, and the count is even at 1-1. Casey Kotchman with 2 home runs. 2 for 4 for Casey, his 5th and 6th home runs of the year. Down the way, Langerhans, Josh Wilson at first. Soria taking some time. And it's up and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Center field. Fielder Mitch Meyer shaded out toward left center. Toward the line in left field is Scott Pasetnik. And it's high for ball 3. 3-1, and a bad one would load him up for Figgins. So the Mariners make it very interesting for manager Ned Yost here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And it started with that leadoff walk to pinch hitter Ryan Langerhans. 3-1 pitch, swung on, fouled out of play, and the third base side, full count. Couple All-Stars battling one another right here. Ichiro going to the All-Star game for the 10th consecutive season. As we mentioned, Soria, his second All-Star appearance coming up, representing the Royals. Runners their leads, 3-2, swung on, fouled out of play in the left field side. Still 3-2. So Ichiro making Soria work here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Still 3-2. This is a 7-pitch at bat. Mike going up and away. That's how the defense is set.
A little bit surprised to see it's all fastballs to Ichiro. That hasn't squared one of them up yet. Up out over the plate. He usually handles that pitch.
Fly ball down the left field line, but Pasetnik is already shaded that way, and he's there to make the catch. Didn't have too far to go get it. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The runners have to stay at first and second. And that'll bring up Sean Figgins looking for his first base hit tonight. He's 0 for 3 with Branyan due up next. In a few steps to third base is Alberto Callaspo. 0-1. Wilson at first. Langerhans on at second base. That's way outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Soria not nearly as sharp as he was the first 2 outings in this series tonight. Looks to me like he's struggling a little bit trying to hit that outside corner. Typically he's down in the zone, and a lot of pitches have been up.
Mike, if you're manager Ned Yost, you didn't want to see your closer working in this game with a 4-run lead, and that pitch is up and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
You didn't. They have a day off tomorrow in Chicago, but after pitching a couple, you would like to have him sit down. It's always tough, too, when you get into the 9th inning. I think you bring him in for a save opportunity when you already have guys on base.
Yeah. Usually you like to bring in that closer in to start that 9th inning. Fouled back by Figgins, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it's a different situation where he has to come in with 2 on and nobody out. Now there's 1 away. But Sean Figgins trying to keep it going, especially with the guy who's on deck, Russell Branyan. Line drive, softly hit to the left side, but it's going to be caught by the shortstop, Yunieski Betancourt, just barely out of the outfield grass in left field. Little looping line drive, 2 outs. Mariners are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and here comes Russell Branyan. 2 on, 2 away. Branyan 1 for 3 with a single into shallow right field back in the 3rd inning. 7-3 Kansas City. Early this season in Kansas City, the Mariners won 2 out of 3 against the Royals. Up and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the Mariners in this game today 1 for 6 with men in scoring position. 3 runs that you see came off of the 2 home runs by KCA AT SEA.
Mariners had the bases loaded. 1 out, could not score in the bottom of the 3rd inning against starter Kyle Davies. Big swing and a miss by Branyan. Mariners are down to their final strike. 1-2 on Branyan. Langerhand's waiting at second. Josh Wilson out at first base. And the 1-2 offer, swing and a miss for strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Royals win it tonight, a final score of 7-3. Late inning.